What do you get when you bring together a Zanzibar-born astrophysics student, a shy dentist, a fashion-loving guitarist, and a biology-trained drummer? The result is one of the most legendary rock bands of all time, Queen. But behind the glamour, the powerful anthems, and the pulsating stadiums, there is a story of pain, genius, defiance, love, and tragedy. The roots, a humble beginning. The story of Queen begins long before the band itself. It begins with Farrokh Bulsara, born in 1946 on the island of Zanzibar, present-day Tanzania. He was raised in India by Parsi parents, deeply rooted in the Zoroastrian tradition. From an early age, Farrokh, who would later become known as Freddie Mercury, demonstrated an extraordinary talent for music, taking piano lessons at the age of 7. His parents, Bomi and Jer Bulsara, encouraged discipline and academics. But the seeds of rebellion and creativity were already planted. In England, as a teenager, Freddie met his future bandmates. Brian May, a physics genius and guitar innovator, built his own instrument, the Red Special, with his father using logs from the fireplace. Roger Taylor, with his surfer looks and sharp drumming, studied biology before embracing music in earnest. And John Deacon, the quiet genius, became the final piece of the puzzle. A reserved but brilliant bassist with a flair for electronics. The birth of Queen and the struggle to be heard. In 1970, Queen were officially formed. Their early years were far from glamorous. Playing in small venues, carrying their own equipment, and being repeatedly rejected by record labels, success was far from guaranteed. They were considered too theatrical and too intellectual by many industry executives. Their first album, Queen, 1973, hinted at the greatness that was to come. But it was with Sheer Heart Attack, 1974, and then the groundbreaking A Night at the Opera, 1975, that they truly exploded onto the global stage. Bohemian Rhapsody, a 6-minute rock opera, was considered radio suicide. But Freddie persisted. It became one of the most iconic songs in music history. Freddie Mercury, the star that shined brightest. Offstage, Freddie Mercury was enigmatic. Shy and reserved in interviews, but flamboyant and fearless on stage. He had a commanding presence, slim-fitting clothes, strutting like a peacock, commanding audiences of more than 100,000 people, as if they were personal guests in his living room. Freddie's sexuality was a source of confusion and curiosity throughout his career. Although he had a deep relationship with Mary Austin, whom he once called the love of his life, he later came out to close friends and lived openly in the gay community. His relationships were passionate and often turbulent. He once said, "I live for excess, that's what Queen is all about." The band behind the icon. Though Freddie was the most visible member, Queen was a true team effort. Brian May, with his rich harmonic guitar layers, was the quiet intellectual force. Roger Taylor contributed not only drums but also songwriting and backing vocals, including hits like Radio Gaga. And John Deacon, he wrote the monster hit Another One Bites the Dust. Each member wrote at least one of Queen's biggest hits, an incredibly rare feat in rock history. But success brought tension. Egos clashed. Freddie's solo aspirations, lifestyle and creative differences created rifts. Yet they often found each other again. A fascinating fact about Queen's early years is that the band initially struggled to find a suitable record deal. Despite their immense talent, most record labels were not keen on their genre-bending style, which blended opera, rock, pop, and progressive influences. It wasn't until they signed with EMI Records that their sound began to find the platform it deserved. Yet it was the bold decision to release the 6-minute Bohemian Rhapsody as a single that truly revolutionized the industry and proved that taking risks can become legendary. Brian May's academic brilliance is another compelling element of the Queen story. Indeed, he returned decades later to complete his thesis and officially became Dr. Brian May. His scientific precision was reflected in the meticulous way he crafted his iconic Red Special guitar. Made from wood from a 19th century fireplace and powered by custom electronics he built with his father. His guitar tone became as distinctive as Mercury's voice. The band was also innovative in the way they approached music videos. Long before MTV, Queen knew the power of visual storytelling. The video for Bohemian Rhapsody is widely considered one of the first truly promotional music videos in history, and its success ushered in a new era of video marketing in the music industry. Their visuals were dramatic, symbolic, and cinematic, pushing boundaries as boldly as their sound. Behind the scenes, Queen were also known for their close ties and strong business acumen. They negotiated a deal in which they owned all the rights to their music. A rare feat in an era when record companies took the lion's share of profits. This decision ensured long-term financial stability for the members and their estates. Despite the creative tensions that inevitably arose, especially during the making of Hot Space, the band always came together stronger, balancing ego with mutual respect. Health, secrecy, and heartbreak. In 1987, Freddie Mercury was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS, but kept the news a secret from the public for years. He continued to record with Queen, even as his health rapidly deteriorated. The band released Innuendo in 1991, with songs filled with poetic touches of mortality. One of the last tracks, The Show Must Go On, was a tribute to Freddie's resilience in the face of death. On November 24, 1991, just one day after publicly acknowledging his illness, Freddie passed away at the age of 45. The world was shocked. Candlelight vigils were held, tributes flooded the city. A few months later, Queen honored him with the Freddie Mercury tribute concert, watched by more than 1 billion people worldwide. Legacy, records, and where they are now. Queen's legacy is impressive. Over 300 million albums sold worldwide. Bohemian Rhapsody became the most streamed song of the 20th century. Their performance at Live Aid in 1985 is often considered the greatest live rock performance of all time. The 2018 biopic Bohemian Rhapsody won 4 Oscars and reintroduced Queen to a new generation. Brian May, now in his 70s, remains active in music and also holds a PhD in astrophysics. He advocates for animal rights and runs his own publishing company. Roger Taylor tours and collaborates with younger artists, while John Deacon retired from public life in the late 1990s, opting for complete privacy. Today, Queen tours with Adam Lambert as lead singer. While fans agree that there is no substitute for Freddie, Adam's performances honor the legacy with respect and power. The surviving members of Queen live comfortable, private lives. Their fortunes are estimated to be in the hundreds of millions, but it is their musical and cultural legacy that remains truly priceless. The enduring power of Queen. Queen weren't just a band, they were and still are a movement. A celebration of diversity, intellect, power, and theatrical brilliance. Their music continues to inspire generations, from arenas to TikToks, from wedding dance floors to protest anthems. They taught us that no genre is off limits, no emotion is too big for a song, and no performance is too bold. Freddie Mercury may be gone, but the spirit of Queen is as high as ever. If you love epic rock legends, don't miss our video on Pink Floyd, another iconic band that redefined music history. Just click the link in the description or at the end of this video. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the fascinating journey of Queen and the legendary Freddie Mercury. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Do you have a favorite Queen song? Or an idea for another band or artist you'd like us to cover? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next one. And remember, the show must go on.